even though it's true.
And we are live! We are live! Hello, everybody, Cosplay Duo. I am Cosplay Princess with my lovely co-host now,
PapaPruss.
I have PapaPruss online with me today, so that is totally awesome. And like I said, this is Crazy Cosplay Duo, and today's topic was actually PapaPruss's idea. It is actually going to be, we're actually going to be discussing cosplay bullying. And do you actually want to talk about you're an admin? Is an admin to page you're at? I don't know what I want to call it. It's like an admin of the page.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to turn down our thing. This is still. It is Fandoms Against Bullying. It's run by myself, and the wonderful person who created it is Princess Luna, who is amazing. Basically, she created it because of the problem that is starting to come about, where more and more of people within the cosplay community being bullied, both by people within the community and people outside the community. And really, honestly, we just really want to bring a lot of light onto it. It is, if you are interested in looking at it, I'm going to put it over in the comments, over on the side there. And we always are looking for people who are willing to join in the fight against bullying. It's something near and dear to my heart, as I know a lot of people who are going through that kind of thing, and it wouldn't let me do it. So we will put it in the comments down below, I'm sure. Right, Diana?
I'll go put it. I'm getting to them. It's a big program. So
we've already got a question, which is awesome. What can a person do to help with the bullying problem? If you see bullying, bring it up. There's a really great, just, if you're a big guy, like muscular, people are gonna, if you go to step up and help someone, there's not gonna be a lot of people who are going to bully you. They're going to see you stepping up. And if you're someone who has a lot of respect and you see it going on, you can do that as well. You can say, hey, you know, what you're doing is wrong. I'm not going to put up with this. So if you're going to be like that, go away. And you can befriend those people who are victims of bullying.
all right, I just put it. I want to check it out. I want to actually add on to that. Some people are actually scared about approaching the person who is harassing somebody else or bullying someone else. Usually, I've noticed more and more, especially cons recently. Usually, people, security to them and say, "Listen, this cosplayer," and they will intervene in the situation, and they will literally tell them, "You know what? You are bullied. You've got a complaint that you are bullying someone else. Can you please stop bullying them? This is your warning." And if they continue to bully other people, the staff will start keeping an eye on them. They risk like a special on like your shoulder that you'll notice it will stick out more because so people will be able to tell who really is security, and by knowing that, people can really know who to approach for it. And they're not afraid to do it. Like, I mean, if you have to, if it gets serious enough, then obviously you have to, like, go to somebody. I mean, if you're scared, that's the best tip. Or if you're unsure and you want to bother a person, then you do that. And like I said, they usually have these, like, ribbon band things on their arms at the conventions, and you know they're going to be security staff, and they are not afraid to go up and say, listen, you got to stop this. Or they'll be able to work out the situation between the two cosplayers are fighting.
Right. Another thing that you can do is when you have the mainly I go up in my own experience, I'd rather go up and try and make a friend with a new person and tell them, you know, not the person who's bullying. I try to remove the bullied person from that situation, because usually they single out single persons, people who are by themselves and do not have someone else there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, going up and, like, stopping a situation, or even, like, walking up to the person and being like, oh, hey, and especially if they're a character you know, be like, oh, hey, like, you know, can I take a photo with you? Like, even that's, like, one of the best excuses that I'll use all the time when I see someone being bullied. I will walk up to the person that's being bullied and be like, oh, hey, you're cosplaying this, come with me, I want to, like, take a photo with you, and I'll drive them away from the bully, so that way they're not, like, you know, it's not like I go up to the bully and literally say stuff, because I used to go up to the bully and be like, yo, you gotta knock this off, that's kind of wrong to do, and then I would get yelled at. So you never do that. You never walk to the bully and start, like, you know, picking a fight with them to get them off the other cosplayers' back. That was, like, my number one mistake I didn't realize when I first started doing this.
Right. Another also we look the people in the fandoms against bullying also bring attention to regular bullying as well. So it's not just outside, it's just not just in the cosplay community, although that is a large part of it. However, there is a lot that can be done. A lot of times we bring it up, we talk about bullying in schools. There are people I know who were bullied in school, who are bullied in school. Princess Liechtenstein, who was on last week with us, she actually has, she is actually my daughter, and she has come to me in regards to some of her bullying. So we like to bring the attention to bullying of all sorts and give options, because we want it to stop. That's the ultimate goal, is to eventually make bullying stop altogether. But it's really hard.
I want to mention that actually, because I've been in the community for 7 years now, an issue when I first started cosplaying, we were all kind of more like, well, keep in mind, the community has grown severely, ginormous, and so much in, like, the upcoming years because of social media. Like, when I was growing up, there was no such thing as Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat or Tumblr or what are the other ones, or there's really only MySpace. So social media has really increased cosplay awareness and have let other people go to cosplay and conventions. But it's also really increased bullying, unfortunately. I want to actually say there's another cosplayer that I actually know who is really good at stopping cosplay bullying. That is actually Happy Cosplayer. She does a lot of different things. Like, I know one time she went to a convention, and her and her friends walked around with T-shirts or something. I think they walked around with signs like, you know, don't cosplay, like, you know, stop cosplay bullying. Ask me how you can. If I'm mistaken by the person, I feel so bad because I'm mistaking the person. And people went up to them and, like, talked to them about this whole issue. I'm also planning to do a panel later on this year where me and my mother, my wonderful lovely mother, are actually doing a panel about what you can do if you're a parent and your child is going through, like, bullying at the con scene. So it's really becoming more of an issue throughout the upcoming years, is my point I'm trying to make. And, like, we are realizing it's becoming an issue, and we're trying to stop it before it gets, like, a place, because conventions are supposed to be a safe place where we can all enjoy ourselves. It's not meant to be a place where we're going to be knowing we're going there, we're knowing we get harassed or, like, you know, anything else. All right, so you got another question. Thank you.
All right, we have, what if a person is picking on you because you're wearing an opposite gender cosplay, like a girl cosplaying a boy or a boy cosplaying a girl? Honestly, my opinion on this is you should be able to cosplay what you want. If you are, because honestly, what does it matter if you're a boy cosplaying a girl or vice versa? It's very important to cosplay who you want. And if someone is bullying you for that, then honestly, why would they do that? And it's for the same, do the same thing. If you see it happening, go up to them and say, dude, your cosplay as Sailor Moon rocks. I have never seen a guy cosplay that character as well as you, and I love it. Can we take a picture? And mean it. But if you are personally being bullied, like if you see someone who looks, honestly, try to get away from it. That's my best advice. Try and get away from it. Try to get a staff member, say, hey, this person is bullying me. They're being rude, they're being and they will do something about it. As Diana said a moment ago, they will help you. And it doesn't matter if you are a guy or a girl, you should cosplay what you're passionate about. A lot of people, when I first started cosplaying as Prussia, as strange as this sounds, I got a lot of flack, but most of it was because I was dyeing my hair and my coworkers didn't understand why. And it was because that was my primary cosplays. That's what I do all the time. So that's my recommendation.
Really? I'm gonna tell you this. No, sorry. You can talk if you need to talk.
No, actually, I'm telling you to go ahead.
All right, yeah, sorry. I think there's a little bit of delay between the screens, just to warn you.
Yeah.
There's a slight delay, so I'm just kind of giving everything a moment. So if there's like a moment of pause, we're not trying to do anything. It's just I noticed there's a slight delay.
Right.
If you were cosplaying, it's called crossplaying when you cosplay the gender of a different character. There is nothing wrong with that. Anybody who knows my sister, Snow Queen Cosplay, she crossplays for me so much. And she gets mistaken as a guy so much, it's not even funny, but there is nothing wrong with it. And if you start feeling bad, like, oh, why am I cosplaying, like, a guy that's a girl or a girl that's a guy, there's nothing wrong with it. And the person's is just trying to pick a fight with you. They're obviously just trying to pick a fight with you. And it's not right of them to do it. You just need to get away from that situation. And you just need to get away from that situation. You just need to just walk off. And if they start following you, be like, listen, I gotta go see friends. Can you please stop bugging me right now? And if they keep on walking to you, walk straight to a staff member and be like, this person's been following me and they've been harassing me and they've been blah, blah, blah. And the staff member will literally turn towards the person and tell them, listen, you can't do this. And then obviously the staff is going to start keeping an eye on the person. I've noticed this trend a lot at conventions. If somebody is getting reported about something, the staff members kind of keep an eye out for this person, so that way, if multiple incidents appear, they will ask the person to kindly leave a convention. I'm trying to see if one more question. Oh, look, did you read the chat box, Pressure? No, I failed that, but somebody said they love you, Pressure.
Everyone loves you
Pressure
too.
So I noticed on your page you are posting, I mean, like on the cosplay fandom against, is it fandom against bullying?
Fandoms Against Bullying, yes.
I did notice you guys are doing events. Like, what are these events about? Because I've been kind of curious myself.
Okay, these events are walks to bring attention to the problem of cosplay bullying. What they are you get your favorite cosplay and it's a walk through whatever city that is at. We have one in, I think, Iceland. I can double check them right.
Yeah, go ahead. Double check if you have to double check anything.
It just takes me a moment.
It's all right. Double check if you need to check everything. Double check if you need to check anything. I mean, what I
There's
really want to do. Go
there's
ahead, say.
there's one in Norway. I am trying to get one going in central New York. In the Utica area. There are several other events. I know that there's at least one, possibly two or three down in Virginia. And we're trying to make it a global thing where, and this one is going to be on June 5th is the next one, and we're also doing one in September.
Do you know the day of the other one?
June 5th is the one. Let me double check the one in September. Let's see, is she online?
So I just made a little post on the chat. It's on June 5th. That way people can, like, you know, be aware that it's on June 5th.
Yeah, and I do not have the date at this moment.
Which is
It's usually
fine.
the first weekend. It's usually the first weekend in September, just before school starts in New York. So, and it's almost always on a Saturday. But we do it for 24 hours. We want people to post their pictures. And even if you can't make it to one of the walks, you can take your own pictures and put them, message them to us, and we're happy to go ahead and add them to the page, because we want this to be something, and we want the awareness for to be out there.
I mean, I'm going to talk about this because I've been like talking a lot about my page. I'm working on a project. I'm not really what the project is, but it's called Project Masked. And because of the harassment I went through, I'm actually going to a convention. I'm not really which convention it is, and I am going to cover my face in a mask. And that way, this is a convention that a lot of people aren't too fond of me of. And I'm going to see if people react differently, not knowing that it's actually me behind the mask. And then halfway through the convention, I'm going to take off the mask and see how people then react to me, knowing who is the person wearing the cosplay, to really show people how it is at conventions when you are being bullied. And I know it like sounds like a big hornet's nest thing to do, but people really should be aware how severe this is. I mean, I really like this idea of walks. I'm going to have to talk to you about hosting one in Saratoga, because for the cosplay group of Saratoga, we're going to talk about that sometime. Because I like the idea of doing walks. I mean, the best thing we can do is we can get people aware, and we can get people aware about this situation, and that way maybe more people know to intervene, and then know the proper way to intervene. I'm start harassing them. Like, that's the number one thing you do not do.
Right. And I have we have information on how to host a cosplay walk. I'm going to message it so that you can put it up. Basically,
I know what comic is. Go ahead.
basically it's where, when, how, what day and time, your route, bringing the awareness, and you have to be aware of any local laws. If there are laws about public demonstrations, because this is really what it is it is kind of a protest, but you're protesting a social problem that's coming about, that's out there, and you're bringing awareness to it. And the more people that we know, that more people that they know are standing together against it, the goal is that it would make less in general.
I mean, I'm going to have to go over that, and I want to know really what people think about it. If like we should host the cosplay walk, because this one. I mean, like I said, the best thing you can do is you can do that. Getting people in the situation is probably the best thing, because a lot of people don't realize how severe is at conventions. I knew somebody, not going to her name, but I knew somebody, and she told me, because she wanted to cosplay, and she said, because one time I was in cosplaying, and somebody literally, and this is why people need to be more aware of it. Sorry, just text message for someone important. And she told me, I don't do cosplay because I was harassed by somebody, and it scared me. And I don't want anybody to literally personally have to not feel safe cosplaying at a convention, no matter how difficult. I don't want anybody to feel that way ever again. And it broke my heart personally. And I don't want people to feel that again. Like, people really should be aware that this is a very serious situation. I mean, like, I can't get into how serious as a situation is to a lot of people. I mean, it is very serious, because if we don't do something about this, then people don't want to go to conventions because it's not safe. And I think the one reason why we go to conventions is because it's our chance to, mingle with other people that are in the same hobby as us and stuff like that. So, do you want to actually talk about something relating to cosplay bullying? Do you actually talk about what you should do if you're actually in public, not in the con hall, but you are being bullied or catcalled or something, especially for the bigger city conventions?
Yes, there's a big movement called Cosplay is Not Consent, which is another thing. I'm not directly involved in that, but it is something that I hold. It is something that I do hold near and dear. It is but if you're being catcalled in public, because you're wearing a costume that may or may not be very revealing, you definitely want to get away. I mean, I would kind of react to it the same way that I react to catcalling in when I'm not in cosplay. Also, sometimes you can think about what your the character that you are, and how would they react. For example, I was cosplaying Prussia at an what is that? Hetalia Day in Boston, and I was catcalled as I was going across the street to get to McDonald's. The rest of the group was right there, and they were like, "Man, I love a woman in uniform," and it was very offensive. And I was like, well, sorry, I'm taken. Or you can react any way that you would normally react. I know that's kind of reiterating, but
I mean, You don't. Here's the one thing about it. It's like, I'm gonna tell you, if you say this in general, especially for the bigger city convention, I would not advise you to go anywhere. This is me being like the parent of everyone. Don't go anywhere late at night. Don't go anywhere alone because it's really bad. Like, we went to Anime Boston one year, and we were walking to our hotel because we're like, hey, let's just watch our hotel. It's a few blocks away. And it was like two of us girls, well, three of us probably. I forget. I was thinking it was three of us at the time. And we started getting catcalled, and these drunk guys start following us, and we're like, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, what do we do? We left the convention like super late, like past midnight. And that was probably not our smartest idea in the world. So really plan about it, and we probably should have taken a taxi. But the point of the matter is, like, if you can't avoid them, but if not, plan, especially, like, especially plan your time. And you don't want to leave the convention super late, especially if it's a big city one like New York City Comic Con or locally Anime Boston or ConnectCon. You don't want to leave that convention hall late. If you, leave earlier, especially on a Saturday, because you know that there are going to be random people outside.
Or drive.
Or drive. Or take a taxi. Pay for the taxi to drive you back to your hotel. I don't care. Take a taxi. It's safer.
Also, as much as I really dislike having to say this, pepper spray can be your friend. I know that it's not necessarily legal in some places, but some sort of thing that, some sort of little self-defense thing. I used to keep perfume before I came out. I used to keep perfume in my purse because that stings like a son of a gun and can potentially temporarily blind someone so that they will not be following you anymore. So just keep in mind that there are ways to defend yourself if you are being physically harassed, but make sure that that is a last resort. Do everything that you can beforehand.
Like I said, leave earlier from the convention if you know it's not a safe place, if you know it's not going to be that great at night. Bring friends with you if you can. Even if you're like running somebody and turns out you're at the same hotel and you're like, you might not have friends with you at the moment, but you're running people and they're in the same hotel with you, offer to walk back together. Keep your cell phone on and charge. That's like my number one rule when you're at a convention, especially when you're walking. Keep your cell phone on, keep it charged. I know this from being a Lolita, you want to keep your cell phone on and charge it all the time because there are people that will harass you on the street when you're wearing Lolita fashion, which is like a dog fashion. People will walk up to you on the street and they will harass you. And I've never had to dial my cell phone before, but I have known quite a few Lolitas that had to dial up, pull their cell phone, dial up the cops and be on, have them on, and be like, listen, if you don't leave, I will call the cops right now, and dial them up, and then they would scram for it. Because as sad as it sounds, a lot of people will act really weird or creepy. And speaking of which, I should tell you this. I was on a subway with my mother from a convention, and there were two guys, and they were staring at us, and they kept on staring at me, and they kept on getting closer and closer to us, till eventually my mom had me and her get out of the station that was actually more crowded, even though it's farther away from our hotel, because she wanted more people around in case they actually physically approached us. In the end, they didn't follow us off the station. They were just staring at me, I guess. And it was a really safe move to do. Like, if you have to, then do that. Go out somewhere more crowded. Walk the streets lighter. See friends. I mean, I'm really sad that conventions don't do this. Like, my college does it, where if it's late at night, they'll walk you to your car.
There are a lot of places if you feel that you're unsafe. I used to work in a hospital, and they would walk us out to the car if we needed it. So keep that in mind. Not all conventions have that available, but if you honestly feel unsafe, but you are parked outside, you can usually have a staff member or a security guard at least keep an eye on you.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I'm drinking my cola here.
It's right. I remember when we were going to another convention last year, two of our friends wanted to stay behind, and the rest of us wanted to go back to the hotel. We told them to wait inside the building, and we would pull up to the convention hall. Like, we would pull up to the drop-off spot, and we would actually pick them up when they were done, because we didn't want them walking to our car, you know what I mean? Because the rest of us went out for dinner, and we left them there, and we, like, pulled up. We were like, no, you know, we're pulling up, don't walk 5 blocks to where we are. It's late at night, it's on Saturday, we'll just pull up and pick you back up, just for safety reasons. I mean, you can never be too safe, but there have been, I have only heard about incidents. I mean, they're not too common, but, like, you know, if you're safer not to scare you all, because this usually doesn't happen at conventions, but definitely, I think that maybe, like, asking staff might not be a bad idea. Like, ask a staff, like, even just ask them, like, sometimes if I have friends that are there and I'm going, like, alone, or I'm bringing one friend with me and we run into friends, we'll have them walk us to the car, and then we'll drop them off at the front of the building afterwards, so that way they don't have to walk back. I mean, if you can, get a hotel room in the convention hall, so you just have to go straight up to your room. You don't have to deal with any of that stuff, if you can. Keep in mind, they're going to be more expensive, and they might be loud. If you feel better, do that. Anything else you want to? Oh, cool. Yay, that's good.
No, there was a question. I'll go ahead and answer it verbally as well. A cosplay walk is basically you're doing a protest against bullying, and you're doing it dressed in your cosplay. Say, for instance, a really awesome one in my point of view, and I would love to get a bunch of people to do it, would be an Attack on Titan one, where everyone is in the full, you know, uniform, but because, you know, uniforms make you feel awesome. But that's my own opinion, but I just think that would be awesome.
I remember one time I unsuccessfully tried to do one cosplay awareness day for Italia, and then, like, we had like 20 people committed, and then only 5 of us showed up, so we all went out for coffee instead.
That's awesome. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be a walk. Even if you can't do a walk, last year I just did a photo shoot with Princess Liechtenstein. She dressed as Femme Sonic, and I dressed as well, Prussia, because that's my common cosplay, which am pulling up right now so that you can see how awesome it was. Because at the time I was living in Salisbury Center, which is a tiny, 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 tiny little town. And I couldn't get out anywhere. But so it's just going to take a second.
Yep, take your time, do what you have to do. I mean, I really feel like if more people were aware, and they just, I mean, usually, I'll admit this, at convention work, a lot of us, oh yeah, you want to show everyone?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, show everyone.
Oh, it's being kind of silly.
Lower it down a bit more. Yeah, you got it.
Can you see it, or is it like?
You can see it. If you want it, you can try posting in the comments.
Okay. Since it's on my phone and I'm.
Phones can be evil sometimes, so don't feel bad. What's I thinking about? I was thinking about something else. I got really distracted for a minute by the picture. I got very distracted for like 1 minute about the picture. I was thinking about cosplay bullying. I mean, like, cosplay is the same thing as cosplay bullying. I mean, I walked around at a convention, and this is dead serious, and I walked around with a sign that says cosplay was not consent. And people were like, oh, I never knew it wasn't consent. Like, whenever I got watching me, it was like, oh, I thought it was okay to touch you cosplayers. And I'm like, oh my god, like, no, it's not okay to touch cosplayers. It's the same thing. Like, if you see somebody being touched, or just being, like, same thing, like somebody is really physically, like, you know, touching somebody or trying to hug them when they don't want to be hugged or anything like that, don't feel bad to walk up to the person and just, like, you know, bring them away or something. Don't feel bad to do that. It's very uncomfortable to go through. Alright, I got through Facebook. I'm going to try to get it to her. Okay, we're going to try. Thank you. I'm going to try to get it to her. I mean, there was a really bad thing. I wonder if you heard about it. Somebody took somebody's photo, cosplay is not consent, and put it is consent. If you like it, touch it.
I saw that, and I was so angry that happened.
A lot of us cosplayers very mad. Oh, okay. So this is actually the. I'm actually gonna try my phone on it because my phone might like me. Give me a second. As soon as mine likes me, this is actually the image that PapaPruss sent me. Can you all see it?
Because mine was kind of shiny.
Okay. That's the photo that they did last year, and I love Princess Lincolnstein. I love her hair. Her hair is just so beautifully blue.
Actually, that's the only time that she has not dyed it for her cosplay.
So beautiful.
She's actually wearing my wig.
I was like, it's beautifully dyed hair. That was really weird. That was a really awkward moment in my life. But yeah, really. I mean, the aware of the situation. I mean, I know it's hard to like intervene. Alright, so back to my little thing about it. I know it's hard to intervene. I know a lot of us at conventions are paying attention to our own. But if like out of the corner of your eye you notice it, don't be afraid to do anything about it. Like you don't have to be like constantly being like aware of the situation. But if you see it, like if you just casually see it, something going on, like don't be afraid to intervene. Like I'm saying, you don't have to be completely aware at conventions that your goal is to save people from being harassed or bullied or anything like that, or being touched or anything. But if you notice it casually, don't be afraid to like walk over and just do something about it. I'm really busy with our own things. I mean, and I'm not constantly looking out for bullies. I'm literally looking for people in fabulous cosplays.
Yes, because honestly, most people who are in cosplay are there because they want to be there. They love it. And I mean, there are some people who do it because that's what they want to do with their life. That's they're paid to be there. But for people like me, I'm only there because I love the art. I love to be in costume. I love temporarily taking on that persona. Even though it's just a fantasy for a little while, it's so great to just be a part of that community. It's part of why I love Hitalia cosplayers. It's part of why I love hanging out with other cosplayers. It's really, honestly, it gives me a feeling of joy that I sometimes get to escape from the reality. Because you know what? Sometimes being a fake hero who takes on evil creatures from from that are attacking your town is just enough to make you feel so awesome that you can take on things in real life. And honestly, that's why I cosplay.
Like a video. I'm gonna recommend everyone to watch it. There's a being made. I know BuzzFeed's really popular for all the crazy stuff. There's one that says why I cosplay, and I have to agree with what it is. Like, why I cosplay is because I feel like that's like the one time where I can walk around in a. Keep in mind, I walk around Lolita like half the time when I'm not doing this. I walk around Lolita. I walk in Japanese school force. When I'm out cosplaying, it's my one time that I'm just not the only one out there wearing this fashion. I'm with people, other people, and I've made some of my best friends at cosplaying. Like, I'm like. But I like PapaPruss. I mean, would not be friends if we hadn't met at a convention. My other friend Trigan Wins. We wouldn't be friends unless we met at conventions. A lot of my friends I don't meet except at conventions, and they are really great friends to have around. Like, I met my friend Michelle and Joe at a convention, and I go there because it's like this place where it's like freedom for a while, and it's freedom. I mean, I know it's not going to last forever as much as I want to just spend all my days cosplaying, but for a while, it really makes me feel like a safe place to be at, and like. It's really also just a great place to be. It's just amazing, and I love. I used to love competing. I don't compete anymore. Sorry, guys. I do panels nowadays. I don't compete anymore. Sorry, everyone who is probably in the audience that's sad I don't compete anymore. I don't compete anymore because. Oh, I want to bring up this topic before we have to end. Cosplaying and cosplay competitions is actually where you'll meet the most bullying. I'm not kidding. You'll meet the most bullying when you're in cosplay competitions, when you're backstage. It's really sad, but a lot of people that compete in the cosplay contest, not to rant, they're there because they want to become a big-time cosplay. They want to become an elitist. And they will be vicious. And that's one of the reasons I stopped doing competitions, because some of the people that compete in the cosplay contest are just vicious and rude and just bad karma, people. Just bad karma and just bad vibes and stuff like that. And when you compete, it's really not about if you win or not. It's about you have fun on stage. Like, I think one of mine and my partner Snow King cosplay skits is when the one where I actually tripped her and she punched me in the face. That was probably our best skit. And we lost. And I don't care because we had the best fun beating up each other on stage. And I didn't mean to trip her, so I apologize in advance. But even so, I feel like, why we are doing all these movements is so that we're trying to show people that it's actually a safe place to be. You know what I mean? Do you want anything?
Yes.
Feel free to add it.
And I agree. It's part of the reason why I don't compete, and I never have. I refuse to compete because of the fact that there are those elitists. And until there's more of an equality amongst everyone, until everyone realizes that we're all just nerds who are spending time enjoying ourselves, that's when I might compete. And that's really what it is about. It's about showing your love for something and showing your how much of a fan you are. Honestly, my first cosplay was Oscar Langley Soyu. This was 2000, and I was already 19. And this was back before the new series came out, and it was just so much fun. And I went to Busch Gardens in cosplay just because it was so much fun.
Talking to everybody
Huh?
who really wants to make it big in cosplay. I'm gonna say this is gonna be mean of me. I apologize for not being mean. There are literally about 20 elitist cosplayers, and there are over 1 billion cosplayers. Keep in mind, guys. So just cut the drama. It doesn't matter if you win or not. As long as you're having fun on stage, that's all that matters. Because that's also it. That's my like number one thing about it. You just have to like I am like I said, I've stopped doing it because I am just sick and tired of the way people are acting at the competition backstage. Like it used to be where like there'd be a bunch of us backstage and we'd be like, sitting in a group playing like, goldfish or something like weird like that, or eating snacks, and like when someone get off stage, we would all applaud for them. Like we would all give them a standing ovation. And nowadays, when you're competing, and I usually have somebody backstage helping with costume, you're literally hearing the people go, "Oh my god, they're so good," or "Oh my god, they're so bad," and it's just like terrible. It's like terrible. And the question, what's the question?
All right. Well, we have a couple of statements. We've got a statement talking about how these individuals were bullied, and we've been there too. And they really shouldn't be, because you know what? Everyone has their little thing that they cosplay. Look at all of those. Look at all. Honestly, look at all of those football fans who wear their jerseys and support their team. They're cosplaying, but it's okay for them, and we're not. It's not okay for us. And to answer the other question, do you think cosplay is a way of expressing yourself without talking? It is a very, very good way of expressing yourself without talking. Because there is a small, I read a paper on the psychology of cosplaying, and it said that people who cosplay are revealing things about themselves that they feel that they cannot reveal in public otherwise.
One thing I'm gonna. Her name is Morgan. She goes to GenereCon often, which is a local convention. Well, it used to be a local convention by me. I've moved now. And I was talking with her one day because somebody I know is like Morgan's biggest fan. Morgan inspired her to cosplay, and Morgan knows this. And Morgan said to me that if she hadn't gone into cosplay, she probably cosplay is just like art, and like art is therapy for people, and it's a way of escaping reality, and it's a way of actually becoming happy again. And there have been so many people I've been told have walked up to me and told me, like, if I didn't get into cosplaying, I think I would not be happy. I don't think I would not be happy with myself. I don't get to be happy with anything. I think I would still be kind of depressed because it's really amazing, and bullying is really sad about it. And cosplay is really like, without expressing yourself. Relating to my thing that I'm doing with the mask thing, I am not talking for like 3 hours of my life, and I am expressing who I am only in my cosplay, and my skill is gonna be searched only in my cosplay. And I hope to God people don't recognize me because I'm gonna have like the full mask, the full wig, and everything on. Hopefully not. We're gonna pray to God no one recognizes me because I'm not even gonna talk, and I'm going to rock around with the whiteboard. So great, now I promise to reveal everything. But I feel like, okay, that just got really off topic. I'm gonna try to get back on topic. So I feel like a lot of people who choose out their cosplays choose out characters that relate to them, or are people who they want to be more like, or they're like, they're real heroes. Like my Snow Queen cosplay, she's cosplayed Wendy. She's also cosplayed Anna, and those are two different, very different characters. They have very different personalities, but they really show who Snow Queen cosplay is as a person. They really do show who she is as a person, and show two different, very different aspects of it. I mean, you cosplay Prussia, and you pretty much just ace it. I mean, you are PapaPruss. You pretty much just ace it, and it's showing a side of you that people would normally not see.
And a lot of it, honestly, a lot of it has to do with my headcanons about him. The fact that in my headcanons, he and I have a lot of things in common. Hides the depression behind a great big smile. And that's what I love. And I also cosplay Levi a lot. I secretly spend a lot of time on tiny little things, making sure they're perfect. Whereas he spends a lot of time on cleaning and scrubbing things. So there's a little bit of that in there. Plus, he's also a badass, and pardon my language, but I want to be that awesome someday.
If we got 2 people who are cosplaying different things, awesome. I mean, like, I often cosplay Miku because I act like Miku a lot. I think because I think that's the one I cosplay a lot. I mean, I don't know. I do a lot of variety of cosplays. Like one time, I felt really down about myself, and I decided I would cosplay Poison Ivy because I wanted to cosplay as a character that was just. And here, I'm gonna go swear now, so everyone can like mute me for like 1 minute while I swear. I really wanted to cosplay a badass, sexy villain, which is so out of my personality range. Keep in mind. It's just so on my personality range. I cosplayed her, and I actually felt really like I was a badass, sexy villain. And it felt really great for once in my life. And I am never going back and cosplaying a badass, sexy villain ever again, most likely, unless like people like pay me $1 million to do it. But it really made me feel kind of awesome for once in my life, and it was something different, and I really enjoyed it. And keep in mind, good news, I did not get harassed or bullied. And except by one little kid. This little kid walked up to me and said, "I like looking at your butt." And I thought he was so adorable, I just gave him a hug. And there's a request for PapaPruss's pressure voice, I'm thinking. Am I right?
Yes. Hold on. I've been in Levi mode. Hey, Austria!
Here. Disney?
What are you wanting? Remember when I stole Silesia? Yeah.
After that, for 1 minute. You would like PapaPruss to say in a Prussian accent. I thought I'd ask Disney that precedent. So I'm gonna give her a minute. So we're show for boring announcements. I do wonderful boring announcements because that's what I have to do. So I'm going to really quickly do a few boring announcements, and then I will let you do some announcements, whatever you want to announce about, because now you're on as a co-host, so you can, for a few minutes, about whatever you want to advertise, like your page, or your fandom page, or like your cosplay page, or like your business. And I have this right next to me to start out with it. This is the cutest, most adorable cosplay badge that PapaPruss actually made me, and PapaPruss actually does cosplay badges, and he'll ship them to you in the US for $10, and you can have any custom character that you want. And this is the one PapaPruss did for me, because I am doing Seattle this con season. But it's not done yet. Also, there's a con on May 15th called Collecticon, and I will be going there. And they are so awesome. They gave me a press pass, so thank you for being my first ever convention to give me a press pass ever existing. You have made me feel so confident as somebody who is trying to run a web show. And also another shout out because there's Steampunk World Fair on the 14th and 15th of May. And we will actually be having later on in the first weekend of May, we'll actually be having the head of the convention, Jeff, will actually be on our show. So it'll be a majorly huge steampunk themed show for the first week of May. So yay! And also, let's see what else I got. I really have to quickly find my. Do you want to do any announcements? Okay. You have a final request.
My page is cosplay, or Broken Wall Cosplay. It is for Princess Liechtenstein, Mama Russia, who has not been on the show yet. Once Mama Russia is more confident with being on the camera, they will be happy to be on the show. So eventually we'll have that. And myself, we have, again, Fandoms Against Bullying is another group that I am involved with. We are looking for members. We are looking for people who want to help bring that information. Right now, my convention season is looking pretty sparse, and that's because there's some medical things going on. But by the end of the year, we're looking to be both at Camp Anime and possibly a couple of other ones. Broken Wall Cosplay is, and we'll let you know any more that we're gonna be at. I'm still working on getting Wasteland Whispers up and running on Etsy. It's just making jewelry and such. And I'm also working on getting the Deviant art up and running for the various art pieces of art that will be available for purchase. I'm also working on helping getting some guests in the future. And I am awesome!
Because you are just amazing. Okay. Decided to do an accident. Look for a lovely, wonderful photographer, Okasi-chan. She will actually be attending a con called Chase Con in Saratoga Springs. Say hi to her, and yes, definitely say hi to her because she is our lovely photographer. I think mainly I'm starting off my con season with Intrigue Wins. Next week there is a horror fest in Salt Lake City, which is actually going to be going on in Syracuse. So if you're in a horror fest and you see me and Intrigue, say hi to us. I'll say hi to you. I'll probably want to hug you, and I'll probably start talking to you and say something really random and weird that's going to make me seem like I really stick out from the crowd. So if you see us there next week, be sure to say hi to us. We're also going to be vlogging next week, so there will be no show next week because we will be vlogging at the Horror Fest. So there will be a video vlog uploaded by Sunday, sometime on Sunday, before Monday. We're going to upload a video vlog about the Horror Fest we're going to. It's a horror movie fest, like I said, and if they see us, say hi to us, approach us. Be free to start talking to me. I'll probably talk to you, and I'll probably give you a hug. If you want to, I'll give you a high five. I'm really kind about this whole thing. And you can say hi to Intrigue Wins, who's with me. She is so awesome because she's driving me to this con, and we're going together, and it's the first time we're going together, and I'm so excited about it. Like I said, I know somebody's going to go to TorCon as well. So TorCon is located in Rochester, so if you see anybody at TorCon, say hi to them. Same for ChaseCon if you're out in Saratoga. And that is probably going to be our rest of our con season for for April. We do have some things coming up in May, but for now that's in April. So if you see one of us there, say hi to us. I'm working on trying to convince PapaPruss, and when PapaPruss has free time, to make t-shirts for all of us to run around in. So that way you know who we are, and you're just not looking for random people in random cosplays. Hopefully. But I understand PapaPruss is really busy, so I understand when you're busy and stuff like that, and I'm playing with the badge for some reason. Anyway,
I'll hopefully have them designed by the end of the convention season.
We hope to have them done by the end of the convention season, hopefully. I told PapaPruss don't worry about it. It's gonna get done. I hope 17 convention next April. But for now, I'm gonna have to make that just something fabulous for us all to walk around with, so you know who we are. Usually people get familiar with us after a while. So we won't have a show next week, but on the 22nd we will have a show. We're not sure who the guest will be on the 22nd, but we will have somebody on the 22nd, the 29th, and on the 6th we're having our special steampunk themed one. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. I have something special that's happening. When we hit 100 likes on Facebook page, and we actually get 50 subscribers, we have 2 special surprises going on. So be sure to hit subscribe. And we have to go now. Bye. Bye, everyone.